I am sure sports. You know me there, I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick-Nick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick-Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
William Knibb Memorial High School D Cup Alumni presents its third annual fundraising barbecue on Memorial Day, May 30th, 2022. Wear your favorite jersey to Wilsonwood Park in Mount Vernon, New York. Remember to take exit 12 off the Hutchinson River Parkway. Music by DJ Mad Max of Sound 1000. Proceeds to aid the William Knibb High School Costa Cup team. For more information, contact Keegan 304-607-4034. Our Codfish at 954-639-2991. Proud of people, it's important. Remember, make sure say oh no did that.
All right, greetings. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I'm your host, Panelist Man. It is indeed always a great pleasure to be with you as you share this time with us. We have a great evening lined up for you because this evening I will be made a little bit more handsome than I am because I'll be having three gorgeous women, beautiful ladies who will be joining me on this Mother's Day, and they're going to make the program great again, right? So the program is going to be great because we have these great ladies who will be here joining me on this Mother's Day. We want to say Happy Mother's Day as well to all the mothers out there, young mothers, old mothers, grandmothers, mother-in-laws, aunts, sisters, wherever you are. Hope you had a wonderful day. And I want to encourage you, listen, there is no thing a woman who has carried you for 9 months could do for you to not communicate with her. So I want to encourage you that if there's some bad blood between you and your mother, make it right. Call, tell her Happy Mother's Day, send her a gift, send her a card, send her a message, right? Let's do that and make the ladies happy today. I'm so delighted that these ladies, they're taking precious time away from their spouses and children and their lives to be on the program today. They could have said, man, you're a joker. What are we doing on your show? This is Mother's Day time. But they have decided to come and I'm so happy. Listen, no listen, you men, no bad behavior. They are all happily involved and they ain't looking nobody. That's not the purpose of the program. And don't try to put up any comment trying to get numbers or Instagram. I'm just putting that out there right now. All right. I am their lawyer, their defense attorney, and if you desire to do so, you have to send a 52-page resume, and then I evaluate it before I pass it on. All right, so that's number one. But big up to all the sponsors and all the persons in the comment section: Fresh God, Brian Mighton, Chris, who is here, Ryan LFC. Liverpool is about to not win the Premier League. Bless up, my friend. Good to see you. Jade Levy, also so happy to see you. All right, so we have three persons. We have Stacey Johnson. All right, this is her. All right, they are not in order of beauty, right? They're all beautiful. So there are three of them, and they're all in first place, right? So, we have Peter Gay. All right, there you go. That's Peter Gay right there. And I'm not seeing Sharian. Sharian, are you there? All right. Hello. All right, we're not, and she's in the studio. If you're hearing us, make sure that your microphone is on and your camera is turned on. All right, so make sure you give access to that, and then let us see your face. She's from Grenada. Her name is Sharian Hector, and she is a former team manager for the Grenada senior female team. All right, so. Let's start with Stacey. Just, begin by telling our viewers today who is Stacey Johnson. Help them to be a little bit familiar with you.
Hi everyone. First and foremost, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all mothers, especially my grandmother, my sister, my aunts, Miss B, Miss Marva Brown. Love you much. All right, I'm Stacey former Harborview player, former Raytown player, former national under-19 captain, go up to the U20, and former senior player. I am you call it a humble person. Football used to be my first love. Now I just watch it, and that's the main thing right now. I've seen a couple of games. It doesn't give me the kick anymore that I want to play, and I miss it. Knowing that all the stuff that surrounds it right now, it's a little bit heartening hearing all the stuff that's happening. So I'm here to share my part and to let viewers know what the JFF women's football team is about.
Yeah. Okay, so would you come out of retirement and play football? Do you think if you came out of retirement you could?
Not even if I'm offering millions of dollars, I wouldn't.
Okay, all right. Not even to coach?
No.
To administrate? Whoa.
I'll watch from afar.
Okay, all right, no problem. All right, Peter Gay.
Hello, everybody. Happy Mother's Day to all those mentors, even our coaches, fathers who actually play that role as well. We can't leave out some of them because some are our good parents. I am a former reggae girl. I started playing under Christopher Bender at the age of 15, and at the time it was U19. And then, after the years, they changed it to U20, and I also played on the senior team. I'm a past Excelsiorian, big school. Yes, I also played for Harborview Football Club. And I would like to consider myself very humble, committed, disciplined, and a no-nonsense person.
Okay. Are you involved in football at this time?
Casually sometimes, but not on a professional level.
Okay. Any chance of you being involved in football on a professional level, maybe coaching,
Well,
maybe
maybe maybe they give me $1 million, probably run out for one season.
all right. And also want to welcome Sharian Hector. She is a former Grenadian team manager. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports and happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Hi, hello.
We're not hearing you. It's all right. So maybe call are you hearing us? Just nod your head if you're hearing us. Okay, all right. So you're gonna get your son. This is his Mother's Day gift to you. He's going to come back and make sure that your audio is working and your video is working. Okay. All right. So we're gonna try and sort out the audio. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna sort out the audio and on Sharian's side. And I know you girls have also, one of the things is that both of you have, ladies, you have had the opportunity of being coached by the present head coach of the female team, Coach Vin Blaine, and you have had your experiences with him. Now, recently we saw where the players, at least they all signed, and many have suggested that the letter that they actually did was not written by them. Some believe that, but whether that is the case or not, it was signed by them. Now, you would have had experiences with him, and based on what you have seen or heard about the letter, how does that reflect on him as a person, from your opinion?
I'll go first in the sense where that's a lie. I am pretty sure if you ask Mr. Vin right now about a team or a training session that goes on in 2005, he can give you a book with his daily attendance. He can tell you who was present, who was absent as players, including staff, where we'll be practicing, the time we'll be practicing, and this is done on a daily basis. And I'm telling you, this goes back to 2005 when I'm playing with him, and this is something that he continues even at club level. So for them to say that he is a person that's very late, that's a lie. That's the first person to show up. He is a very disciplined person, and for them to come out and say stuff like that, it's just ridiculous. I don't think this is coming from players, and it makes you think like, what is the ulterior motive for these people to doing stuff like this? And former players, like a lot of us, even non-Arborview players, can come out and speak.
Yeah.
I personally don't think that. I don't believe it one bit. Not the Vin Blaine. Maybe somebody else, maybe this shadow, I don't know, but not the Vin Blaine. I'm not undermining anybody's intelligence, but I don't think that letter was written by players. And some of the words used, like I say, I'm not undermining anybody's intelligence, but I just don't believe the players wrote that letter.
Okay. All right. So and that's important to hear, because I think, I think one of the issues with the letter is not just, okay, because I think it's one thing to say I've outgrown a coach. I think the difficulty is when you make the coach look or seem unfit, incompetent, and I think that is the issue, because I think it's okay for players to say, listen, where I'm at now, I think as a player, I've surpassed your level of coaching. That I suppose you can live with, because as professional players, I suppose you guys would have changed teams for different reasons, and players will even change teams because they think where the coaches that they have gone past. But that does not necessitate criticizing the coach's personality, work ethic, and attitude. And I think that is part of the issue, I think, with letter. Let's see if we're hearing. Go ahead now, Sharian.
Are you hearing me now?
We are hearing you now, and we're seeing you. It's working. Wonderful. All right.
Okay,
Welcome
thank you.
to virtual Jamaica. Good to have you. All right. Don't know if you were hearing the discussion, but tell us a little bit. It just really tell us, the people who are watching, who you are, and
Okay,
happy
my
Mother's Day.
name.
Happy
Thank
Mother's
you,
Day.
because I heard you
Yes.
the first time. You all just couldn't hear me. I say thank you again. Well, my name is Sharian Hector. I was a former national women's team manager. I managed from senior straight down to U14 players. I was attached with the Football Association while Mr. Blaine was there. In fact, he was instrumental in us reaching the furthest we ever reached at the in Tampa with the under 15 girls. Without him, I know we could not have done what we did. So that I spent nearly 7 years working as a manager with the National Women's Program. So I had a lot of experience working with other technical directors as well as with Mr. B.
And how would you I mean, rate his coaching acumen and also his
Well,
personal character.
I probably like the other young women. I am dumbfounded of what they said, because what was written is nothing like what I've known Mr. Blaine for. The professionalism, his commitment, his everything was par excellence. In fact, every single day, not a day don't pass, I just tell them, Grenada would always regret losing him, because he brought so much. The little time he spent with us, he changed the entire look of women's football. And it gave everybody the confidence. It gave the girls, the senior team, everybody that confidence to put their best foot forward. And he was a professional all the way. All the time. There was never anything you could not go. In fact, when I see they talk about punctuality, and I was like, can it be Vin Blaine they're thinking about? Because I used to quarrel with him. I said, yeah, don't have a life. He will always be at that ground, sit down and quarrel and tell me, manager, I'm waiting. Always. The first person to do. He come, he execute, he do what he have to do, and he leaves. But he would always be on time. So I mean, the letter and the person that I knew, it doesn't work together at all.
True.
I think the bigger issue then is because what are some? I mean, you guys have been in national setup. You have been in, and I know you have played in college. You have managed teams. What could have then led to this at a time when the team has played 4 games and have 4 victories? Like when you look at it in that context, it really seemed like something deeper would have triggered a letter like this. If all that you're saying is the case, that person is different from what the letter says, then what are some of the things in the construct of any football team from your experience that could have led to something that depicts the person this way and seek to basically alter the coaching staff when there is what they call a winning streak going on?
I would think that in a lot of teams you have a bad apple, and when that bad apple cannot have them way, they will do whatever it takes to destroy everything. And at this moment, that is what's happening. That bad apple is creating a lot of conflicts, is being manipulated by outsiders, and this is causing a huge problem with the team, and also making it seem like Vin Blaine is at fault. And that person needs to come and speak the truth.
Yeah.
That is the issue. Mr. Blaine is not the problem. That person needs to come out and speak the truth, because he knows what's happening and he's not coming on air to speak. That person needs to come in and speak the truth and stop drag his name. This man is of high integrity. Like, I would put my neck on a block for Vin Blaine.
Yeah. What say you, Peter Gay?
Like Stacey said, I think players are being influenced. I think it's straight politics. I don't know what it is, why this is happening. But my question is, though, if there's a problem like this, is it that there was ever a meeting between the coaching staff and players? My question, I don't know. Was there ever a meeting before this letter came out?
With the coaching staff, from all indication,
and the team.
Mr. Blaine did say that there was supposed to be a meeting via Zoom in an interview I did with him, and he said that the team manager which is part of the problem, I believe, the team manager for the team, and maybe Sharian, you were a team manager, Miss Hector, in Grenada. The team manager has a full-time job. So the team manager was not able to arrange the meeting because of the full-time job.
That's unacceptable.
So I don't know. I don't know how that happened. So I think they tried to do something via Zoom, and it never worked. And so
then you can't put it to the media before.
And that's what I'm saying. That's unacceptable.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know if this is what triggered. Because I think the next step was there was also a meeting, I understand. After this, there was a meeting now where a few players and other persons met with the leader of the GFF. And it was from this meeting, reference was made that if these things are being said, then we need information to substantiate the claim, and then that's how the letter came about. So I don't know. Yeah, but go ahead. I don't like. I'm trying
that
to
seems
understand
incomplete. It seems very incomplete.
Yeah.
It doesn't add up.
Yeah, but as a past manager, former manager of national teams, but first thing, every manager has a full-time job, and I can't see why a meeting can't be facilitated, no matter unless you're working 24 hours or 48 hours.
Exactly.
I can't see that not working. So already we see, and again, football and politics, they're so embroiled in each other, and it always comes down to that. But from the tone of the letter and everything, when I was able to, it basically saying, it's like you, Stacey and John said, is one or two players disgruntled about something and they can't get their own way, and they decide, if I can't get it, better throw down the whole bucket of water than I deal with the sum. And that's how it works out. Because you're seeing from the tone of the, it's always one or two persons not being able to do what they want to do, when they want to do it, and how they want to do it. And always there's a problem, I think, with players, when I tell them, if you're a player, you're a player. You cannot want to be a player, a coach, a manager, an equipment person. You have a role. Everybody have their role. And everybody, the teams, and sometimes the coaching team, and it have a shadow coaching team, or a whole other management who's telling other players what to do, what to say. And that is something you have to, I don't know if it's all football, but in the Caribbean here, I've seen it happen. Yeah, because you always have somebody wanting to influence, and that is where the problem is. In fact, because I can't see this coming up now, after they win 4 games, and now it is an issue. And some of the things, the things they're stating, I mean, any person who is a coach basic level, you know that don't make sense.
Yeah.
Basic, especially to this level of football, where you don't have plan. I mean, just reading it and you're like, what are they? It's something like grassroots, and not even grassroots, or baby playing football. Because, I mean, no, because I have known Mr. Blaine, and I can't see he not having. He's the plan
Never,
master.
never,
Never.
never.
So they're
That is
asking, let
totally
me just
untrue.
remember, because they're asking, so Stacey Johnson is a former national player, Harborview player, Rayton player, Peter Gay Salmon, Harborview player, national player as well, and Sharian Hector is the former team manager for the Grenada national team, and probably U teams as well, and she worked with Vin Blaine. So let me just say this for the persons in the comment section, all right? We are not here advocating for Mr. Blaine to keep the job or stay in the job. He has already made his decision. That is not the purpose. We are not here saying that the girls cannot be displeased with a coach. They can be. We are not here saying that they cannot say that they want a new coach or they have outgrown the coach. That's not the purpose of this conversation. The purpose of this, which is right, is that when it goes beyond coaching to you being not punctual, you not turning up, you not being organized. That's about a person's character and reputation, right? And so we have seen a letter expressing, and let me say this, craftily executed, that has gone out in the public domain. It cannot be retracted. It has been declared and it has been said. In fairness to the coach, who, as a person of integrity and prefer Jamaica, he will make a decision in the best interest of the football, which is probably not to even be around the team. He's not going to. It doesn't mean that people ought not to speak of their experience with him to say that is not the person I know. This is the whole idea, because many believe that what has been said is true.
Yeah, and they need to come out and speak the truth, tell the truth, because what you guys are saying is not the truth. The stuff you have written in the letter is not the truth.
I honestly don't think they wrote that letter.
It's not the truth.
That seemed like an outside influence. And it just doesn't, it doesn't make sense. Like I said, my question is, if the JFF knew Mr. Vin wasn't capable of doing the job, why would they call him? I'm sure Mr. Vin did not go by JFF and ask them for the job. That just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
and it's not the first Mr. Vin coach a program, and the program.
That's a very good point, because wouldn't the persons who have an issue now, why didn't they have an issue
before
at the beginning? Because he has not gotten worse since the start of the first game. In fact, the record will show that he has gotten better. So if these glaring issues were there, why were they not taken into consideration and then don't give him the job? And I think that is the important thing. But what I also want to find, when because obviously there are issues somewhere, somehow. So how do you deal with these issues? Have you ever been in any team at any point where the players may not have been happy with the coach, with somebody, and you have to join up with them because do you join up with your team even if you don't agree, or do you? how does it work in the team in the team construct?
No, I always have a mind of my own. I analyze stuff first before I make a decision. I've seen where past national team where something wasn't right, and I decided that I do not want to be a part of the next national team, and myself and Peter spoke out about it, and we did not participate. So I always analyze stuff before I go ahead and make a decision collectively with everyone. So in terms of everyone signing that letter. They probably were coerced in doing it, or forced to do it in a sense where if you don't sign it, such and such will happen to you. If you don't sign it, you won't be a part of the team. And oftentimes that do happen. And probably that's why they have so much signature.
Yeah. Have you ever had? Go ahead.
No, sorry. You can. No, I'm saying I can see where persons are saying that if the girls don't want Coach Vin to be the coach, what is the big deal? That's not the point. You're missing the point. I mean, I'm sure if they don't want him, and he probably can step down if they don't want him to be the coach. But the things they're saying in the letter doesn't make sense. If you know Coach Vin, you know it doesn't add up. So it's not like we're saying Mr. Vin is the best coach, or it has nothing to do with that. It just doesn't add up.
And I keep saying it to people, like, we're missing people keep missing. We have gotten to a place, I think, where we don't care about people's character or people's integrity. Mm-hmm. So it don't matter if somebody tell a lie against you. Just leave that alone. Life cannot operate like that. One, so let me give you. If you put out an article that no one says anything about, and it says you're incompetent, you are not punctual, you're disorganized, you don't communicate, you can't run sessions, how do you get a job again when that is looked at? That is what we need to look at. Remember, this is not, the girls have a right to their opinion.
Yeah.
And if they say they don't want him to be the coach, that's okay.
Yes, that's fine. Nothing's wrong with that.
Saying, I don't know. So please listen to the conversation before you make assertions. The conversation is, why did the letter have to go at the person's character and competence when you can say, we have gone past this coach? It could have stopped there.
Yeah.
And all you have to say is that, listen, Mr. President, we have gone past this coach. If the president says this is the coach we want, well, if you want that coach, you go and play for him.
Yeah.
And that's it. But when you get into all of these things about him, so I'm a minister of the gospel, I'm a pastor. So the church wants a new pastor. Nothing is wrong with that.
Yeah.
But if they say that I'm abusive, if they say that I'm stealing money, if they begin to say these things, I have a right to defend my integrity, because it affects me going forward. This is what it's about. But go ahead.
My take on it, well, I'm like former manager, and you have issues with teams. You have issues with teams from the coaching, because again, you have 20 or 21 different personalities having to deal with every single day, not counting their families, other outside influence. So it is sometimes difficult when you're a manager or a coach having to deal with this. And just like you said, if you had a problem, you don't like the coaching style, it's okay, say that. Say we're not happy with that, but you can't try to cut some character and integrity by saying things. And I mean, people who know Vin Blaine, you know immediately when you read it, no, that is not Vin. But remember, not everybody knows him personally. So people would believe. They will think, well, that is true. How come all of them sign it? And again, the signing or the agreeing, well, I am not Jamaican, but from my perspective with teams, sometimes everybody just go along because remember, you don't want to be, because how teams work is a dynamic and a click.
Sure.
Everybody who have worked with football know is a clique. So you don't want to be on the outside. You may not agree and you're upset about doing it, and you lie down in your room with the other partner you're with in that room and say, that is not about Vin enough. But everybody else let me sign because they know what they will say. Because you want to be part of the team. But you cannot kill somebody, and it's so easy now to just terminate people's character and the integrity with just a few words. Because once you read and once you know Vin, you know it's not true. But people who don't know him personally would start to wonder, well, what kind of coach? He not on time? And I mean, reading that is like all you needed on top of the letter was once upon a time. And probably because you know it's a story, it's a makeup. None of the words, nothing coincided with the person that I know, unless Vin has had a complete character change in the last couple.
All right.
Yes, he's not that type of person.
All right, so let me take this and then you ladies can respond to it. So I am surprised at management. There is no objectivity here with these ladies. No one is giving the ladies the benefit of the doubt. The witch hunt is real here. So let me say this, and I think Joseph Brown has said up top that we are saying that the girls are liars. What? Again, words are very important. What Peter Gay and Stacyan has said, because they use the word, they said that it is a lie. And what they're saying is that the information in the letter does not reconcile with the person that they know. How is that a witch hunt? And how is that? They have also said that they believe that the girls are being influenced, or it could be probably two persons who feel this way. So this is no witch hunt. Again, let me emphatically and categorically state it. A team at any time, whether 6 or 10 or 20 or 5 or 1, can express that they are not satisfied with a coach and they'd prefer to play for someone else. In fact, I have said it before, that any coach put me on the bench, I think he's supposed to be fired. That's how good I am. You are not supposed to. And Ishmael King, you know that. You know that I've walked away from teams because I'm not in the bench business. If I want to sit, I stay home and watch TV. When I go to play. So if you put me on the bench, I think you should lose your job immediately. All right? That's me. So I understand that. Right? So players have a right to that. And I'm saying that they have a right to even say to management, we want a different coach. And that must be looked at. So it must be respected, because obviously there is something that is affecting them. Either the influence is affecting them, or maybe they just don't want Vin Blaine to be their coach. And nothing is wrong with that. What we must not do, though, is give allowance for things that seem to come against people's character and integrity. Because you can make sure you establish what you want without destroying character. And I think that's the point the ladies here are making.
Yep.
So, as a former manager, I can say the fact that everybody signed it. I don't know about how the team, the dynamic. But I've worked with us from U14 straight up to senior players. I have never had my 20 or 24 players agree on anything. Agree
That
on
is
any.
that is
No, I
so
mean,
true.
never, no matter. Probably the only thing they might agree on is going out there and win the game, and still, how we win it is a whole other thing. Never have them. I tell you, basic. A simple thing as asking them, what time you all feel we should arrive? Everybody have a different time. I've never had them. That is a first ever in football, and I could say that everybody agree with one thing. Well, them had to be the teeniest team I've ever met, because I have worked with all different teams, all different age groups, and I've never had them agree. You'll get 24 different views on the same topic. Or they'll agree now, and as soon as they walk away, is a whole other. So that, I know it probably about our influences, but again, if we don't want a coach, it's okay. But people character and people think it's a simple thing, but it is not. Your integrity and the person you are, this has to live forever, and we must not try to shoot down somebody's character just to get our own way. If you don't want the coach, you say we don't like the coach, we can't work with the coach. and that's it. You don't have to that letter
Yeah.
and the penning and saying things about, because it was basically what all the things that he's not doing. That cannot be true. It can't.
I don't know if you guys remember the game that the girls play against Grenada. Um, Previous years, we pride ourselves in no team in the Caribbean supposed to score on us. None. That's how we pride ourselves when we used to play for Vin Blaine. No team in the Caribbean supposed to score on us. And in the game against Grenada, the young lady that scored on us, I am pretty sure Vin Blaine explained to them that this young lady is a really good player. Do not let her turn on you. And guess what? She turned and she go score. So if he is not the person that is giving instruction, then what is that then?
And the young lady that scored on them, Vin was instrumental in getting her the scholarship that she's on
Exactly.
currently. Because she was always a star Sharian. He was the one who put everything in place to have her where she is at the university.
Yeah.
And he
Exactly.
would have told them because he knew what she brings. He was the one coaching her and he knew exactly what uh, and she scored. So I'm sure he would have told them the type of player she is.
Yeah. Yeah. But yet still he's not giving instructions. So like I don't get it. I don't get it. Is uh, when Vin Blaine come to a team, this is what he said to you. I am not the type of person that will come and shout and tell you all kind of bad word and stuff. He's not that type of person. He's not gonna coach from the sideline. This is why he have training sessions. So you come and you learn and you retain what you need to learn to go play in the games. So I don't get it. Like, why would they say stuff like that? So basically, this is not stuff from the players. If they were experiencing whatever these stuff, I don't think it would be worded like that.
Yeah, and I also think like this is where I think there is a bigger issue at play right now, because the letter also stated that it is the coaching staff, which mean the present persons who are there, which is really indicating but the content of the letter is directed so it is for the removal of the coaching staff, including the head coach, but the content of the letter is in direct reference to the person. So there is not like, so there's a part that says the recovery methodology. So that, for that, I'm saying that could be an issue,
Yeah.
but that may not be the head coaching duty.
Fault. Yeah.
For example, say, and I'm just hypothetically speaking, say that they gave him a driver. My understanding is that he's on the team bus, and the driver turns up late, right? And then you say that he's late. It's not his fault, and that is why it is important that someone need to speak from the girl's perspective and explain the letter. Because the longer they stay silent, it is the more people will believe that there are other intentions in it than just a mere letter. I want to understand, because up to someone just asked, for example, like, has anyone come out and said they did not sign? Yes, there are persons who didn't sign. I mean, it's public. The letter is out there public with all the signatures. There are players who did not sign, and there are players who have not played for Jamaica. That when the letter was done, they were not qualified to play for Jamaica, and they signed the letter. There was one player who signed the letter was not qualified to play for Jamaica, and that player signed the letter.
Wow. It goes to show you, said that what it is. These are not words from the players.
Yeah.
These is
And
influenced
again,
by
the
outside.
girls have all right to express whatever dissatisfaction. Remember, recently we had a coach who coached a team where some ladies had some issues and they came and they spoke about it.
Yeah.
We want to live in a society where women have been marginalized for so long. We want the women to speak. We want the women to speak. So when the women speak, we appreciate that. But at the end of the day, when that is put out there, then if it is not coinciding with what other people know, then other people are going to speak. And until you speak and say something, then this is what is going to happen. This is what is going to happen. Because the issue is not, will he stay in the job? That is not the issue. Listen, for those of you out there, listen, he's at that point. He doesn't want to coach the team. So if you think like this is trying to get him, listen, even if they said come back, he's not going to coach back that team.
Yeah, tell him no go back.
So let me say that.
Tell him no go back.
For those of you who think that this is about him, Mr. Vin Blaine, I don't think after this you'll see him have anything to do with football in Jamaica. When I say football in Jamaica, I'm talking whether, so you don't have to worry about that. We're looking about other things.
They do not deserve him. I can tell you, they do not. They do not deserve him. I see where every other places he has been like they reward him with a lot of stuff. And you can see that he has great influence on a lot of people. And for them to come out and blatantly lie on this man is not good.
Yeah, but what is the solution? I mean, do you have any solution? This is also in the middle of a campaign. We want to hear from the manager. No, you're a team manager. What do you do? The players, untenable relationship between the player and the coach. All right? What do you do?
Get rid of the bad apple.
No, they say
get rid of the bad apple.
I'm with Stacey on that. Because sometimes we have to get rid of one to continue with the many. No matter how good a player is, sometimes we need to get rid of the one to continue with the many. Because sometimes a player could be excellent. I tell everybody in the field. But at the end of the day, you want a team that is a team and not somebody who's always trying to influence. Because they will always have that influencer.
Yeah.
So sometimes we have to do what we have to do. You may think, that is your best player, but a best player who is not disciplined enough to want to receive instructions and from the coaches and from who they're supposed to be working with is not a player you want on your field.
Exactly.
You don't want that player. No matter how good they are, you cannot work with a player who all the time is undermining you, because that's what happens.
Yeah.
Because today is the coach, next time might be the president or next coach or somebody. No, because that's how they work, They don't stop at one day. They will continue.
Because they can't have them own way. They can't have them own way, so they will do whatever it takes
to get what
and
they
that
want.
is what that is what's happening.
So just like
you get rid of that one bad apple and then you build from there.
And you build from there, that's the easiest. Because you might think, because just like you said, Mr. Blaine is not gonna, I know Mr. Blaine, and as I always say, he have options. So once you have options, because he's that type of person, anybody would want him on their team. So he has options. But when you bring somebody else, they may be surprised that it will have some other issue.
Yeah. If though we agree, right, that there is influence on the outside, shouldn't the players then be, because we can't on one hand, this is part of the dilemma. We can't on one hand say that the players were influenced, they probably never write the letter, some were probably coerced into signing it, and then say, and then blame them.
Mm-hmm.
Like how do you ascribe blame to them if you believe that they were quote unquote outside influence leading? But
the outside influence have somebody on the inside. So that's the one money in. Because the outside influence, the outside, but they must have somebody inside who will
Yeah.
bring the propaganda or
Yep.
spread the news of what they want.
Yep.
So that's the one you're getting rid of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they must have somebody working there on the outside and they know exactly who to target and who to work with to get what they want.
Yep.
Because I say this is happened this one time, but if that person have that type of influence and they continue and they're not getting what they want, it will happen again. So for them to continue, what they have to do, they must make a decision on what is the next step and where to go. And the easiest thing is to get rid of. I mean, I think that's how I would always, as a manager, that's what I will do. I'll just tell them that if you're giving me trouble, I'm not going with trouble. What are you going with trouble for? To say, well, yeah, I could handle trouble. No, you get rid of the trouble and you continue.
Mannings, you see that individual, they know what they did. They know what they did. They know how disrespectful it was. And so this is why they are afraid to come and say. And this is why they have all those players put a signature on that paper. They know what they did.
Yeah. Man, it's a very tough one. Like I said, that I think you all of you have alluded to it. And just in terms of training, in terms of management, I'm going to give you some of my kids are in school, whether here or in the States, wherever they are. One of the things you do is that when you have an issue, they direct you to, you can't go to the principal. They always tell you to talk to the teacher in their class first. Now, if that doesn't work, then you can take it to the principal. Whenever you go to the principal, the first thing the principal asks you is, have you spoken to the teacher, meaning their class teacher? All right. So here is one of the biggest issues I have with this. These young ladies had audience with the president, who, one, according to them, he doesn't hire coaches, pick players, right? That is done by the technical committee. They relate to the president an issue, because that's what they're saying about the meeting. Why didn't the president say, stop, go and meet with the coach first? Or, listen, let me call the coach to the meeting, right? Why have a meeting and have a letter constructed coming out of that meeting? It really means that you have already created an atmosphere for the coach to be usurped, because the chain of command is broken. So is now the leadership of the JFF at fault, because they should have redirected the ladies, go and talk to the coach, and then coming out of that meeting, you can bring whatever comes out of it to us, and from there we will meet with you. But once you have the meeting with them, it's like this is done. It's like when I get to go to the principal, it's done. Yeah. If I have
stamp of approval, he sealed it when he.
Yeah. If I have to skip my supervisor, the department manager, and then I get to the CEO of the company, it's really done.
Yeah.
And that was my question earlier. Was there a meeting between players and coach and the coaching staff? For example, I am the captain and my team members are having a problem. They come to me, we talk to the coach, we get in a meeting, and then we take it further. That's what I'm saying. Was there ever a meeting? So why is it that persons are saying, oh, we want coach to be the coach? That's not the point. The point is the things they're saying in the letter. If you know Mr. Vin, it just doesn't add up. And it has nothing to do with, oh, we want Mr. Vin to be the person. That's not the point.
I personally don't want him to coach them anymore.
All right. So let me see. There you go. The persons on the panel all believe that he should leave the job. For the most part.
I mean, it's his choice, but it's his choice. That I wouldn't stay.
Yeah. Yeah.
After all
So
of that.
let me say this. It's like we are believing the coach
Which word?
word over the
Over the
girls.
girls.
All right. So let me no. All right. So again, you're missing the
Yeah, they're
point.
not understanding.
I think this is it. You have to. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss the point. All right. So let me help. See if I can help you. All right. The girls have a right to express how they feel. Like somebody said it earlier, this may be their experience. It is not the experience of Peter Gay. It's not the experience of Stacyan. It's not the experience of Sharian. All right. Now you can say, I don't believe Sharian. I don't believe Peter Gay, and I don't believe Stacyan. That's okay. But you must also believe that people have the same right like you do to not believe the content of the letter. You cannot have a problem with people not believing, right, the content of the letter. You can't have a problem with that. But still yet you want people to believe you're okay with the people who believe it. It's not reconciling. It's not reconciling. All right? Because this could and should have been done a different way. All right? And at some point, we need to stop as a people and do things the right way. What is the right way? All right? What is the right way? If there is a problem, there's a chain of command. If you have a problem, talk to the coach. If the girls come out and say, you know what? We have met with Coach Blaine. We have talked to him. We tried to address the issue. He didn't want to meet with us. Here it is. We called him to set up meeting and he refused to meet with us. So we have
And
no other
that's a
choice.
different case.
That's a different thing.
Yeah, that's a different case.
thing.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. We can't operate on what we don't know. We have to operate based on the information that is out there.
So basically, they are trying to say if somebody tell a lie, you should just accept it and move on. What if you don't have anybody to defend that lie for you? And that's what we are doing right here. We are defending the lie being said about Mr. Vin. What they are saying in that letter is not true.
Exactly. Because
Peter Gay, you
the
have a
points that they
problem.
put in.
Peter Gay, you have a problem right there. And he said that to you
I'm
earlier.
watching the comments and I'm watching all the comments. Yes, I'm reading and I'm laughing to myself. And yes, somebody asked if I'm a former Excel student. Well, I am an Excel student, of course. Former Exeter High School.
Yes.
Student.
But even okay, they want us to believe the girls. I'm not saying, well, I am non-Jamaican, but the point is, when you read it and you're hearing what they're saying, it doesn't align with the person that you know anymore Blaine to be. It's like it's like an alien. Because everybody know what they have and who they know, and when you know somebody, from the time you hear certain, you say, no, man, that can't be. Because how could that be the same person that you know for how much years?
Yeah.
How could they change? Actually, it had to be an outer body experience. It had to be.
And that is the point we're trying to share with people. That is the point we're trying to share.
Actually, the one thing on punctuality and not coming, I mean, I was like, this is a joke. I said it's vague, and to me the letter just very vague and a general thing, and they just come up with things we feel we should put in. Yeah, put in that will look good. I mean, no, that's basically how it come across to me. But that part, that will sound real nice. No, that is not minimum, nothing in that. Because he's somebody who always has a plan. Because I remember when he came to Grenada, that's the first thing he came. He had a meeting with all persons involved in football, and he sat down and he said, well, tell us, what do you do? And then he, with what we do and what he bring it together and he pull it together, and he always look have another a coach, and you always tell us you must come to the ground with a plan on what you want to work on. what we need. You just can't have the ladies there and you don't know what you're working on. So saying he's somebody, I mean, it really left a sour taste. And I just read it and I laugh. Because it was like a joke. Because knowing Vin and that can't be about him. So it must be about something else. The letter wasn't about him, so it must be about something else. It was about something else.
Let me say this as well. Let me ask you this because you girls play football. I mean, you'd have probably played either against or with them. All right. I mean, do you have the kind of relationship that could say, listen, this is not the best way to deal with it. All right. Maybe I don't want him to be coach, but here is how it can be approached. Do you have dialogue with players in the team that you could have had that conversation with them? Because maybe, sometimes I realize that that people don't know, and I've seen that in my own life. People had expectations of me to do things that I didn't know that is the way it ought to be done. It's like you expect your child to know that at 8:30 they're supposed to turn off all the lights, unplug the refrigerator, and you have never taught them. So could it be a case where they have a legitimate concern, right? And they felt like, you know what, the only way for us to get it done is to do this, and they did it, or they agreed to it because it is a legitimate thing that, listen, we have grown past the coach. We have grown past the coach. And so how do we remove him? All right, we're trying to have the meeting. We never have the meeting. You know what? Next best thing, let's do this letter. And could it be a case where they really didn't know? And so they were led down a path that it still got to the objective, but it wasn't the right. Like, you got to the end, that the desired end, but you just took the wrong path. Could that be the case?
Somebody mentioned we should give them the benefit of the doubt. The benefit of the doubt is if they had written that letter, then maybe we could have given them the benefit of the doubt. That letter was not written by one of those players. That is why I cannot give them the benefit of the doubt.
Listen, I just want to clear the air. Sorry, Stacey. I just want to clear the air. I don't want anybody to feel like I have a problem with the Reggae girls. No, I don't even care who plays on the team. I don't even care who coach them. Right? I am happy for them. They made history. And of course, I want them to make history again. So don't make it seem like, we have a problem with the players and whatever the players. Fine, it's their team. So if they feel they don't want a coach, but what was the right thing to do? That is my question again. What was the right thing to do? And of course, I can read the comments and persons are saying, we are Mr. Vin's defenders. Okay, sure, I'm going to defend him.
Yeah.
Yes. He's a man of integrity. I'm going to defend him. Yes, let me defend him. Because I know what I read that's not true about Mr. Vin.
Yeah. And
so it's not about us being close. Yes, of course we're close to Mr. Vin because he coached for many years. Harbour View, national team, you name it. But I'm not going to sit and watch people tarnish this man's name and agree to it. No, we don't care who coached them. That's just stop. You people are missing the point. You people are actually missing the point.
Mm-hmm.
We don't care. And we're happy for them, of course. But you know what? I just feel like one little World Cup them going to get to them head. Simple. One little, so people go vex when we talk, but I don't care. One little World Cup and to get to them head, all of a sudden everybody a star. None of them players, they must remember who build them and give them chance. A lot of them. And I'm sure that I'm sure there will be a next show, right? Where we'll have persons on here who are not close to Mr. Vin, who can actually tell us, they not believe it either. So people are talking about what is the objective, what is the way forward. We can't tell you what is the way forward. The JFF and the girls have to decide it since they run the thing. It's them run the thing. I don't even care who play for them. We just know say if them do good, we cheer them on, and if them do bad, we just wish them could have do a little better. So stop saying all of these negative things, and it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. I personally don't even care.
Some of the things I have to listen. All right, so Boss Thomas, right? You know, I tell you guys I do a lot of training, right? I do a lot of training overseas, and one of the analogies I normally use is when I go to these places and talking about integrity and character. I normally take a bottle of juice, drink, and have it sealed. And I normally get someone to go to a toilet and go into the bowl and get some water. And I get the syringes, you know what, that used to do medicine. I ask them to take one drop of that and put it in the full cup or bottle of water. And you know what is funny? Every person refuses to drink it, though the 99.9% of it is clean and only one drop of dirty water is in it. It's kind of funny that if you have a whole lot of dirty water and put one drop of clean water in it, it still stays dirty. But if you have clean juice and put one drop of dirty water in it, it gets dirty. The point I'm making, if one thing on the letter is false, it's a matter of character.
Yep.
That's the issue. It's a matter of character. So let me take that. For the person, I just giving time to this comment because I can respect you even though you disagree with me. That mentions about people being killed and their parents and their parents said that they were good, only to find out that they are gangsters. You must also, and this is the issue I have, you say that, but you do not mention that there are people who have been killed that are innocent, which is the point they are making. This is the point. So do not use that analogy because it is true on both sides. And again, listen, I am still going to support the Reggae girls. I told you before, if Jamaica put some cows from down by Island there to play for the Reggae boys, if they put John Crows out there, I am going to wear my Jamaican jerseys and I'm going to buy a ticket and go wherever and whenever I can. This will not change my support for the team, but as a society and a people, we must be at a place where we can, as a people, talk to each other that, listen, you have good intentions, but the pathway is wrong. If we can't tell people the way you do things is not the best way, something is wrong with us. We cannot continue to live in a society where we don't care what the end result is. We don't care what the process is as long as we get the desired end result. That don't make any sense. In other words, it's okay for a person to rob the poor to get rich so that they can help their family. Right. Who did that J5? I don't know. I need to see that. so keep yourself calm in the comment section. It's a Sunday and yeah. But there are other persons. Listen, I know persons who Coach Blaine has respectfully asked to leave his team at the national level and at the club level, male and female. And here's what, and you're going to hear from those persons who never liked his coaching style, but don't agree with things in the letter. He also admitted, I don't know if you ladies heard this, but when he came on the show, he admitted that there were things that he could have done differently and should have done differently. He said, I take full responsibility for that meeting not happening. He went as far as saying, if I knew that the letter was the girls and they want me out, I would have gone without saying anything. He said that. And what we are discussing is very simple. One, a man's character and integrity must be upheld. This is not recreation. This is a man's livelihood. Mm-hmm. Right? And when you say certain things, it can, you know why they have defamation and all of these things? You remember we have a president who called a man a name. And none of you, though he got the result that he wanted in the end, all of you agree that he's supposed to pay the $9 million that he was fined. So where do we go from here is what we need to discuss. You know, like I don't know. One thing I know is that there's going to be a different coach. Because for love nor money, Mr. Vin Blaine cannot go back in a locker room with these girls. It is untenable.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to trust them. He's not going to trust them.
I wouldn't trust them either.
And they're not going to respect it once it gets there. Yeah.
I wouldn't trust them either. Because if they can come out publicly and say something like that about me, like how can I trust you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But like the process was done wrong, how it was done, and it should have been, there must be, before they reach for the public letter and everything, they should have followed, and the president of the football as well should not have, they should allow them a due process, so they move from one stage to the next, have a meeting, talk to the coaches, the management, see, and if then they find they get no result, then it move into this. But to leap from, you don't like the coach, send out a letter on somebody's character, because probably if they had somebody else influencing or telling, they would have said, no, that is not how it is worked. But you see that it went from one, so that's why it's clear that it's something more than just that. Because it went from 0 to 170 miles per hour one time. They didn't have no in between there. So you know it was from that increment, you see there was more to it than that. So probably if they had the right process, they would have able to think. But I know Mr. Blaine, and I know he would not go back. He's not that type of person to go back to that anymore. No.
Yeah.
Somebody in the comment mentioned the panel is biased because we are close to Mr. Vin. Let me tell you something. Being close to a person does not say that we should not defend his character. I am pretty sure if I knew you as well, I would say the same about you. It is not fair for them to come and say something publicly that is not true. And this person, this individual that caused all of this, need to come and say what's going on. They need to come and say what's going on. That bad apple need to come and say what's going on, because they know what they did.
Ask the person in the comment section, right? There are, one thing I know with players and bodies, because isn't there a representative, a statement could have been issued, you know? That's what I'm saying. There could be a follow-up statement to say, listen, all right, in due time, we will give further explanation about the details of the letter, right? but nothing has been said. A letter could have come out that suggests that, listen, we had no intention, somehow confidence was breached. We had no intention of this letter making it in the public domain. Unfortunately, it did. A letter could have come out that said afterwards saying, listen, damage control. We tried meeting with the coach. This is running for a while now. And I can't understand how we don't see that in the long run, this precedent, and you said it earlier, Sharian, if this is how we remove people going forward, aren't we putting ourselves at risk to how bodies are administrated? Imagine a group of students have a problem with a teacher because the teacher did her rightful job and they wrote for the teacher to leave. Imagine like you said, Joseph Brown earlier, the persons in Denham Town say get rid of the soldiers. Imagine if a precedent is set where all people have to do is to write a letter and ask for someone to be removed. Even if the content is not accurate, we accede to their request. We can't take away remove the veil and see that there is also a problem with establishing precedents and poor principles.
Mm-hmm. It's a very dangerous precedent, and again, sometimes we have to be very careful about the monsters we let in, because if they've done this once, it would not stop. So we have to always be careful of because once it's been set, that's it. So there is a dangerous road they're starting to tread. But I'm sure probably, well, like Stacey and things said, probably what we need now is probably for the players, or at least who don't agree, to come out and maybe say something. Because at the end of the day, yes, the letter was penned and it's not true. Once you see the letter, you know Mr. Blaine, you know the type of person is, his integrity, and you could say, that is not true. We just didn't like the coach, we don't like the coaching, and it's their right to not like something, but you cannot cut down a man's character because you don't like. I mean, it is wrong. And what is wrong, we can't make it right. Wrong is wrong, and I just tell everybody. Whether you like him, if I don't like Vin, if it's wrong, it's wrong. And I am a parent, and I wouldn't come here and sit, well, yeah, and say, oh, that is not true about. And if it was true, but the things they're saying, those things are completely, actually it was like a story once upon a time, and you read all the thing and you're like, oh, somebody it's like a short story, nothing was true. That is not the type of person Mr. Blaine is. He never was, and I can't see him changing now. Like I tell you, he's way too old to change now, eh? So
the only thing it will be changing is the hair on his head.
maybe that is the problem. That's what I'm saying. That I would be okay if the girl said, "Listen, we have known Mr. Blaine since we were teenagers, and he has not changed. It is his same coaching style. We have changed, so we want to move on." Mm-hmm. I think that is absolutely fantastic. Okay. And I think if they read that and the JFF agrees, they release him.
Yeah.
That's what I am saying. I'm saying they could have said, listen, from year 14, he's coaching me. And from year 14 is the same way we're training. Right? Nothing much has changed in terms of how he coaches. He still sits on the bench and he don't come out there and shout and stuff. When we need somebody who's going to come out there and call us and stuff. We need somebody with more emotions. I'm saying even that I could accept. Those persons are different. And I'm saying that if they said, listen, based on that, we are going to change the course, nothing would be wrong. I think when it goes into other details, I think that is the issue, right? So Jero says, screw it, Vin wrong, the girls wrong, and whoever leaked the letter is wrong. Typical Jamaicans, we have no respect for each other, and we don't respect. Listen, we don't respect other people's integrity and their character. Yeah. So
that way.
Go ahead.
That we're trying to defend right now, his character. That is what we are defending. That letter doesn't speak of his character. And that's all we are trying to say. The person that is being influenced, that rotten apple need to come out and speak. That's all. I'm sorry, you cannot even get them on here to speak.
Listen, so here's going to be the problem, which is what I don't want to do, because remember, I also had Coach Charlie Edwards, and people don't know this, that Coach Charles Edwards and Coach Vin Blaine don't see eye to eye.
Long time, not just now.
All right, you all know that. and he didn't come out in support of Vin Blaine. And I had him on the platform.
Yeah.
But he never liked the letter. And what he said, if all of this is true, how it is done is wrong. Which is what people need to get. And I think we keep missing that. And again, no, I don't know about anyone else. I can speak for myself. I am 100% behind the Reggae girls. I'm going to still go to games that I can. I still have ideas that I think if implemented, I want to. I'd love to any one of them. I mean, I can call names that I've heard being called in the media about this. If they're connected to the system, I've heard Sidela Marley's name. I've heard the Minister of Sport name, the JFF name. Listen, anyone, the girls, 21 of you, any one of you can come on and share your perspective.
Yeah.
Right? People are saying, how come the ones who have not signed haven't said anything? All right.
Good point.
Maybe because you're under pressure.
Right point.
Thomas, let me just, because I have to take some of these comments, sorry that I can't take all of them, because some of them, like, it wouldn't make sense for me to respond to some of them, because it like you're hearing but you're not listening. Man, was the letter sent to the press or was it sent to the JFF? So the letter got to the JFF and the press at the same time. So it was not released by persons within the federation. It was released before it got to the federation. And when it got to the federation, it got out in the public.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is why he's not for go back. Don't go back.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Somebody's saying that no, her name is Stacey, somebody's saying that J5 is saying that you look like you know enough, you need to talk up.
J5 is a hater. All of J5's comments are all negative.
Oh.
I've been reading J5's comments. Everything is negativity.
Yeah.
You probably don't even know if people are box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. The new coach better tread light and simple thing you do, and then like you get sub out. I'm saying it's a bad precedent. It's a bad precedent. All right. I'm going to give you, I can use my own personal example. My son, right, plays, they're younger, but because in Jamaica they don't have like under 7s, under 8, under 9s, under 10, under 11, under 12. They have like big categories. So when they're 8-year-old, they're good enough to make the under 12 team, but they're not big enough to play against most under 12. All right. So I have a bad attitude. Like I said, I never like bench, so I don't think my kids should be on the bench either. So I went to the first game, they were on the bench. Right? Though there were bigger guys out there, the team won. Second game, they were on the bench, the team won. All right, so I said, keep on training because there's a third game, they were on the bench, the team won. So you know what my first action was? Listen, I'm going to pull them from the team because I don't want them to develop a liking for the bench. All right, so just giving it right. So I was adamant that I was going to take them from the team, and so my wife kind of said, "No, you can't set that precedence because wherever they go, if things don't go their way, they are going to walk away from it." So I allow them to play. You know that they played in the semifinals. That helped the team to get to the final of the competition.
They lost.
Well, they lost the finals, but they got to the semifinals. They won the semifinals and they got to the point I'm making is that sometimes you have to be careful of the precedents that you're setting.
Exactly.
You have to, because how you do things sometimes create the problem that it keeps on happening. And somebody said it. What if they don't like the next coach? What if some of these things are repeated in the next coach? Will we see a letter? Will the person
I don't think so. Them I don't think so. Them probably got too ashamed to do it. Because I look bad. I don't think so. I don't think so.
All right, so I hear Tennessee saying, I don't think they even wanted Vin in the first place. I think it's a JFF plant him there. Vin is not big coach. Till he I don't know if that is till he or tell he Tennessee.
Until he coaching Grenada, probably.
I think it's Telly coaching Grenada. Why is a big coach?
What I will say to you is that there's
going to the World Cup. Makes you a big coach.
Manage, let me.
And then I'm going to. There's no competition that Vin Blaine has coached in Jamaica that he has not won.
Exactly.
And go ahead. Stacey.
They said Mr. Vin is not a big coach. Mr. Vin is one of the person that make Jamaicans recognize the reggae girls. When we come off that bus, people swarm the bus for autographs. Why not talk about?
They don't know the history.
Mr. Vin is so committed in the sense where we have tournament in Florida. We didn't have the money. We had to go elsewhere to raise money. This man is so committed, and yet still you're going to tarnish this man's character. Mr. Vin make Jamaicans know about the reggae girls, so get that in on the head.
You know what is funny? Some of these people don't really watch the reggae girls.
Well, the few that knew or knows about us, that raise the flag or whatever you want to raise for us, Mr. Vin did that. When there was no reggae girls for quite some time, Mr. Vin helped bring that back.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to take this one from this person. So the measurement, people, we have an Einstein moment. Great, finally, of this evening discussion, we have finally made some sense. The qualification of a good coach is qualifying for the World Cup. There we go, people. If you have not qualified for a team for the World Cup, you are not a good coach. Einstein moment, light bulb moment, the discovery is finally here. So, if you have not qualified a team to the World Cup, you are not a big coach. Listen, all right, Island card. That's awesome, man. I mean, I could not have like thought about that. The the
That's
cranium,
funny.
the minuscule size of my cranium would not allow me to construct such a awesome awesome thought, man. Where did you find it? What encyclopedia did you get that from, man? My, listen, this is revelation. That is not even found on Google. You need to coin this, my friend. Your qualification for the World Cup is what makes. So because Grenada has not gone to the World Cup, anyone, if Pep ever coached Grenada, if Pep ever coached Grenada, he would not be a good coach. I'm telling you, because Grenada has not gone to the World Cup. To be a good coach, you must qualify for it. Come on, man. Listen. Come on.
Island, my army, Island can't take win.
I don't know.
He take win.
I don't know. So many times these people say something. Stefan, why you want to find out what time Peter Gay left Excelsior? I don't know.
I graduated in 2006.
Yeah. And then if Jamaica man is not talking any team any team to the World Cup, we are against him. We are just saying he is not a big coach.
So what does he consider a big coach?
Yeah, but what
in Tennessee, what you consider a big coach?
Yeah,
you have to go to the World
Cup. No, people, Tennessee, please give me your
definition
in 2 sentences. Two sentences. Give me your definition of a big coach.
Vin Blaine too little and tall a while. He little. So he probably that. Then once he wants a tall coach.
Carl, we agree with you, and we can respect or make noise. All right. So listen, the players have a right to express how they feel. Listen, in this time, when ladies are speaking, we have to show respect. For too long, we have nullified the voices of the females. I am glad that, because maybe back in Peter Gay's time, when things were not right and okay, they never had the liberty, the freedom to express themselves, and maybe they would not have. So I'm glad that the ladies can talk. And I do agree, that if they have concerns, and I don't have a problem with them wanting the coach out. And like I said, I don't hide and tell her that I have a lot of respect. You all know that I have a lot of respect for him. I was one of the first persons to tell him, like, listen, walk away. Yep. Right? I've also told him, listen, don't even do no more interview. Don't talk to anybody else. Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
All right? Leave it alone. Because if the team qualifies, you were there in the beginning and you won the first 4 games. All right? Yeah. And if they fail to qualify, guess what? Well, people will look back and say, boy, maybe if. All right? So leave it alone. You have nothing to lose. However, you must ensure that in leaving, your character and your integrity is intact. That's my only thing in this.
And this is why we are here. They are not getting it, that this is why we are here, to defend this character. The girls can write whatever they want. They can say they don't like him or whatever, but come out and speak the truth.
You see, there's someone calling for the show. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports.
Hello.
Yes, welcome to I Am Sure Sports. Good evening. Look like cat got his tongue. Yeah. So, Peter Gay, let me tell you, don't pay attention to some of the comments, right? Yeah, you know why? Because some persons have to Google the words. Some of the persons sometimes in the comment section they have to Google some of the words. They don't really reason with a lot. So yeah, right? Yeah, so you have, yeah. Like RDN TV, he has to Google his sentences before he posts them. So yeah, you understand me. so don't pay attention to all of them. Yeah, that's that way. But again, like we said, okay, there. All right. Yeah. Oh, the ringtone. Don't worry about the ringtone, Jairus. Right. Yeah. So listen. So when I remember, I said, listen, I don't have problem, Paula. Every time you speak about a person in any way showing respect to them, you're defending them. So if in Jamaica, if you say, listen, I think Mark Golden is a kind-hearted person, you are labeled. If you say that Andrew Holness is very articulate, you are labeled. If you say Paula should get the job, you hate local coaches. If you say a local coach is good, you hate people. Why are we like extremists? Come on, reason with common sense. We have a foreign national here. We don't want her to, to think that we can't have reasonable dialogue. Robert Sanchez, this is, let me introduce you to the panelists again. We have Peter Gay Saman. Is it Soman or is it Soman Peter Gay?
Actually, Saman now. But most people know me by Soman.
Oh. So why did it? You should just keep your name when you get married to.
No.
You know, me. Be careful because you don't want maybe yes, the surname is the same surname and it just somehow at the RGD the L got dropped out of yours, you know. So careful. And she's a former Harborview player and also a former national player. And you also captain the national team.
Yes, at one point, I believe the under 20.
She captained the under 20 team, and Stacy and Johnson is a former Harborview, Raytown, and national player. And you captained a U team as well?
Yeah, U 19 and 20.
Right, and we have Sharian, Hector, right? No relations to Michael Hector. All right, Reggae boy. She's a former team manager in Grenada. All right, and she has worked with Coach Vin Blaine, and they're just sharing how they feel about the letter. And J5, let me help you. Robert Sanchez will not support you in your thing. So what would be good for you? Trust me, J5. Do not get Robert, because Robert is going to tell you that as far as he's concerned, Vin Blaine should stay and don't move. So I don't think you want to go down there, J5. All right. Yeah. So you're getting some big up here. Yeah. But I mean, just talk to us a little bit, Sharian, and then I'm going to give you all the last word. But how has football in Grenada, improved on the female side, because of Vin Blaine being there for so long?
Like I said at the beginning, when Mr. Blaine came to Grenada, football, we were at a certain level, and he brought, to me, a sense of professionalism. That's the first thing. And the understanding that the team around the team is just as important. So that was the first thing he set up, the teams around the team, meaning the coaching staff, the management team, that always stress that the team around the team is sometimes more important than the actual team. That is something he would always push. He brought, again, the professionalism, the wanting to do the best, because of the way he would speak to the girls. He would encourage them, and they would always give up the best. I tell you, we went to Tampa, and that under 15 team when we went to Tampa was normally we'll go up, you play your games, and back down. That was during the carnival. And I'll never forget, we went there and everybody was shocked of the performance. And this is a team that we put together. I remember the Christmas, 2 days before Christmas, Mr. Blaine had us have girls come into the stadium and training, and I was quarreling. I said, Christmas? I say, like, you don't like Christmas? Who does train around Christmas time? Because normally that's when you're getting your break. I said, who trains around Christmas? He said, yes, we must get it set up because the tournament would have been in August of the next year. And we have to get the girls and get them ready. And I remember quarreling because Christmas time as a housewife trying to organize my things, and I in Grenada National Stadium stand up the Saturday before Christmas, hot sun with Blaine, picking girls and looking at all the girls from in and around Grenada trying to get this team set up. Because he said we at least 40 girls to start the training process. And he worked every single day. Always on time, always giving of his thing, we had young coaches, women, female coaches, helping them to develop and become. In fact, when he left here, the women coaches who was attached to the team acquired their C license. So you can see the type of commitment. They all have their coaching C license, and it is due to Mr. Blaine. And that team went to Tampa, and it shocked everybody. We ended up losing against Bahamas. And again, we always say we won it. They didn't give us the goal, but that's how football is played. And we lost 2-1. We reached the highest we have ever reached, and it's all due to Vin Blaine. He brought a lot, and when he left here, I'm sure some of the players still probably call out and reach out to Mr. Blaine because he left such an impression. I like this boasting up and thing. In fact, I would call him my second husband. I don't use first name. Yeah. So now when you call him, oh, your husband going, tell him the husband say hello because he became part of the entire family. Because he's that type of person. When he left here, I tell you, as always, recently when they came to play, I went to the thing and I told him the only reason I came is to see him. Because I went and particularly wanted to see him because I always tell him, thank you for what you did and the knowledge that you imparted to everyone because he brought something very different. And it stayed with the team. They built on it. The coaches, one of the coach, she's still with the national team now. But Vin Blaine brought a lot. And that Tampa team, I can tell anybody. Because when we were planning to come back, because I made plans to come and jump Juve, because I know when we go normally, we finish all the games, we lose, and we come back, and I hear for Carnival. Juve morning, I was still in Tampa, watching Juve happen, and Job playing in Grenada, and I had to stay Tampa, because we had moved on to the next round. And we shocked everybody when we beat teams game after game after game, because Vin Blaine, he would always, and he will tell the girls, we're going out there positive, you watch what the teams have, and then he will tell you, yes, we could beat that team. Because he's a master tactician. When he watch a team play, he could 5 minutes into it, and he say, yeah, I don't know what they have. I'll always say, you sure we could? Yeah, man, let's call the bus. Let us go. I don't need to see any. Because he has that type of experience. So, seeing the words that were written on that letter, again, I say, it sounded like a once upon a time Nancy True story. That is not who I know, and that is not what he ever brings. That type of professionalism, I cannot see it changing, because you would always stress on that. He said, this is a game, but it's a profession. We have to be professional, and we have to set up things in a certain manner. And that's what he always did.
Yeah. And I think that's a nice way to say it. How we do things, it should be. And I would say to the JFF, use this as a learning lesson. Your players should know how to vent and get to the place where Jamaica's football stop washing it's dirty laundry in the public. Do you know that every coach that has been around Jamaica football from John Barnes up to this point, dirty laundry has been put out in the public in terms of how it was dealt with. Same thing happened with Schaefer. It happened with Andrew Price. It happened with Hugh Busby. It happened with Lon Donaldson. It happened with Hugh Menzies. It happened with Xavier Gilbert. It happened with Theodore Whitmore. I mean, all the coaches. So we must now put, like what you just said, Sharian, put things in place. Like, so the players know, listen, if you have a grouse against the coach, go to the team manager. If the team manager doesn't respond, take it to the chairman of the technical committee. If you get no redress, go to the general secretary, and if not, take it to the president. After that, you are at liberty to, if no action has been taken and you feel like justice has not been served or done, then you can take whatever. But the JFF itself must establish within its bylaws a clearly outlined process. Because you cannot deal with people this way. You can't deal with people this way. And like, I don't know how many times I'm going to tell you, people, this is not about the man staying in the job. You cannot deal with people this way. And until they're clearly outlined channels and processes, we're going to keep dealing with people this way. We probably soon can't find anybody to coach any of our teams, because they're going to say, listen, you have a way of ending stuff with people in the most unceremonial ways. Therefore, we don't want to be associated with the program. So that must be put in place. Do you know if the proper processes was done and fell on deaf ears? Trust me, in this case, well, you know what? Maybe if let's assume that this is the proper process. The process needs a new hard drive. It needs an updated version, because this process cannot be it. Right? So, yep. Yes, Stacey, and anything you want to add? We're up on 2 hours, and I know it's still Mother's Day, so I want to ensure that Sharian gets to spend the rest of her evening. She's an hour ahead of us, and I think you are as well. So, yeah, anything else you want to add, you want to share before you go?
I will mainly say that the letter does not describe who Mr. Vin Blaine is. Mr. Vin Blaine is a man of integrity. He's a very respectable person. And when he's conducting training sessions, you cannot include that he's a person that turns up late. That is not true. When you say about commitment, that's if he has to be on the bus, or if he should be at the field by first thing, he is there. Usually he's a person you are able to go to and talk to. It's a welcoming person. So I don't see how you jump past him and go to somebody else to state your problems. That one bad apple needs to come out and tell the public what is going on. Stop drag Mr. Vin Blaine's name like this. Stop tarnish the man's reputation. You come out and say what you have to say. State why you have this letter written. State why you have the players sign it. And stop drag this man's name. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Peter Gay, you have been paying attention to the comments. Yeah, what say you in closing?
All right, so I mean, persons are saying, "Oh, Vin is not God, and we're defenders of Vin." That's fine. I mean, the letter does not align to the person we know or who I know. I mean, yes, he's human being. Probably, like you said earlier, he said it that there are things he could have done better, and there are things maybe he could have done better, and things that he thought he should do and he didn't do, and that's fine. But like I said, it doesn't add up, and it seems incomplete, and I just don't think the girls wrote this letter. I think there's an outside influence, and let me say this: there's no I in team. There's no one person that can do the job. And if you think Vin is not the best person, that's okay. We don't say we will want him to be the coach or he's the best person to coach the team. But I mean, I think it could have been handled a little bit differently and more on a professional level.
Awesome. Well said. Well said. Sharian, what? Anything you want to say in closing?
Just like they said, the letter, you read it once you know Vin Blaine for the person that he is. In fact, there was an incident here whilst he was technical. Now, as we're talking, I remember where something was wrong and a player went directly to him. And he called me over. We were in the dining room. We were out in a camp, and he called me, and I come over, and he told me, so and so have a problem. And she came to me, and I told her, no, she must speak to the manager. So you automatically showed her that this is how it goes. You just don't come to the coach. You speak to the manager and see what the manager do, and then I will bring it to him. So there's a process for everything. And again, well, I am not Jamaican. The letter, the Vin Blaine I know and I worked with and who I admire and have great respect for, that is not the person in that letter. Nothing in the letter. Every time I read it, nothing coincides with the person that I know him to be, and that he was here and that he continues to be. It is not him. So again, but football and politics is so embroiled and always hand in hand. And I tell them that once you're part of football, you know the politics. That has a lot. Yeah. That I'm trying to give away. It is deeply embroiled with politics. So sometimes you see the politics played out, and players are end up becoming scapegoats and be used for somebody's other agenda. So again, that is not the Vinimo Blaine that I know.
Listen, I want to thank you for coming on. These men here, they are very difficult. These are the men that built up a banter with even male persons in football in Jamaica, where shirts were torn off and tattoos were shown. People have gotten upset on these platforms and walk off the scene, ended interviews, right? And I will say, I will say this. You can see by people's character, and I like what you just said, John Doe. And management have to control your chat. Them disrespect. And look at the words that you use, right, to describe the ladies on Mother's Day. So I'm just telling you. So even in trying to bring across a point on Mother's Day, look at the word that you use. So you learn and you know a lot from people by these things. And I can tell you, this has not been a revelation of the ladies, but a revelation of some of the men in our society and how they think. That on Mother's Day, men would still come and want to attack persons who are stating their opinions. All right, let me say that. I want to commend you though, because you came on and you spoke what you believe and what you think. And even in spite of all the comments, I normally tell my guests, don't pay attention to the comments. There are some very intelligent people, but there are some people that cannot come on these platforms. They can't speak proper, they don't look proper, and they don't know anything proper. So they use their fingers to fight. Don't, right? So you have to know this on this platform. And I've learned that, right? Not all of them are right. No, seriously, not all of them are right upstairs. Their fingers are right, but their brain and their fingers don't work together, right? They're typing faster than they think. And so, with that being said, though, I want to commend you that you represented yourself well, and it was truly a delight to have you on. I enjoyed your company. I enjoyed your honest opinion, how you feel. And I also believe that in the end, the truth will win out. And I always tell people, if Vin Blaine is wrong, it will come out. And if the ladies are wrong, it will come out. Because in the end, right? In the end, the truth always wins out. And so I want to thank you. I want to thank you. I want to thank you. I have to put up this super chat. This is the most intelligent. This is the one Calabar person who he always have to tell people that though his brain has been drained, he is still the most intelligent. Whatever. But it was really a delight to have you on today. And you know what is funny? Even I said J5. No, Peter Gay had good response.
He likes me. I think he likes me.
I'm telling you.
Yes, I cried.
So after all of this, the show is done.
Yeah, he crushed
Right? The show is
true.
end. I see Fresh God, for example. Fresh God who was saying that you guys are the vindicators. What did they say about and then this says enjoy your the rest of your Mother's Day, lady, right? And he's praying for you, you know. But you go up a little further, he's saying Vin defender, right?
He can.
Yes.
Okay, I have to go.
All right. Thank you so much, Sharian.
Thank you for having me.
All right, bye.
You're welcome.
Okay,
All right,
Sharian.
Yeah, man. And thank you, ladies. All right. If you want to find these beautiful ladies, just dial 876-666. All right, and they will. You will hear somebody answer. How I call this? So see, Dukla is asking you to come on again. So they're asking you to come on again. But whenever we have a game, we will, hopefully come on and we can talk about the game, like when a female game is going. And you need to come on and probably talk about your career, your time playing, and what that was like, so that people can know more about the female football. You see, and then I message games, Peter Gay. I message game. I don't. That's a new app or something.
No, you want to ask me about iPhone.
Oh,
Games on iPhone.
Oh.
You don't want it with my number. After him do me up, so.
Yeah.
Him do me real bad.
Yeah, so then it says glasses lady cute. No, what you talking about? Sorry,
no, it's a different one. It's a different person. That's Romario.
Yeah, Romario don't play no Stacy, and look at the picture and the thing. Beautiful ladies, and they played football.
I am taken. I don't want nobody in that comment
Hey, listen, I wasn't
section.
suggesting that you're not taken. I'm just saying that he said glasses ladies beautiful.
No.
I'm just letting
my
you know.
J5 come for him, My J5 come for him.
Yeah,
remember I'm J5's girl.
I'm just letting them know that you're beautiful too. That's all. And I'll leave it alone. But so great having you on this evening. And like I said, I'm glad because I have seen people come off these platforms by comments in the comment section. People even pivot that change everything that they were saying because they have come under pressure. But you guys have did well. You're eloquent, you're intelligent, and you share your opinion even if others disagree. All right. So thank you so much. And listen, we will be in touch because I'd love to have you on again. All right.
Okay. Thanks for having me.
All right,
Yeah, what
thank
is
you for
it?
having
All right,
us.
you're going to have to go back and read some of these comments because now everybody is all of a sudden everybody is very mushy now and sending in nice things we're taking and all of that. Yes. But take care and all the
All
best.
right.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
All
All
right,
right.
all right,
Yeah.
bye.
All right, bye. All right, so there you have it. Listen, I want to thank all of you as well, right, for being on, for being a part of this dialogue. You know, please, as usual, we ask you to hit the like button. And if you have not subscribed to the platform, please make sure you do so to show that you love the content. Listen, it was a good night, and that's what we do. We are working tirelessly to hear the other side. And I think I have given a whole week to the Vin Blaine side. Next week, I want to focus on getting persons who can speak on the girls' behalf on what they are going through to give, you know, give their perspective, you know, express in the best way possible how they feel and what they are going through. All right. Again, you know, we can disagree without being disrespectful, right? We don't have to agree. We don't have to agree, but we can still live in the same space. I think it is important. I think it is very important that we hear from the representatives from the girls' side. All right? Because until then, a lot of this is going to sound like you all say, very one-sided. We are digging to find out about the outside influencers, and we don't want to refer to people as outside influencers. If we want to know who the names are, so we can show respect to them and allow them to have their say, because that is also important. It's also important, right? And maybe, like I said, you know, maybe in all of this, this should have been the end, but how we get to it may have been the wrong way. And what we need to do is to go back. And I want you to check with me. Go back to even Carl Brown. Check when was the last time there was any amicable parting of coaches in Jamaica's football at the national level. I can give you names: Carl Brown, John Barnes, Winifred Schaefer, Vassal Reynolds, Jerome Waite, Vin Blaine, Donovan Ducky, Xavier Gilbert. Did I say Jerome Waite? Andrew Price. Listen, all of these situations, it ended nasty. Ended nasty. Carl Blake, I did do a show, you know, early in this, talking about the fact that I still believe the girls are going to qualify. I did that show speaking about, I think that they're most of them have been to college, and I don't think anything has been said about the character of the girls. No one has said that they're incompetent or no. I don't know, but even on my platform, no one has gone out assassinating the character of the girl. But the letter, though, does do that. Right? Mine and not mine. we are Jamaican manners. We don't go with the word civil. You're saying, so Manning, my question: what is the constant with all the coaches? Well, I don't know. Is it because, remember, we have Winifred Schaefer in that, we have Lazzaroni in that, we have Bora in that, we have Carl Brown in that, we have Theodore Whitmore in that, we have Vassal. Listen, We have John Barnes in that. None of these coaches. I am saying to you that whether local coaches or overseas coaches, every time a coach leaves any level of Jamaica's football, it's nasty. All right, and so we have to stop and fix this. We cannot continue to deal with people this way. We have to. This cannot continue. So they will have their say. They will have their say. They will have their say. But this is how we deal with people. I'll leave you with these three things. You reap what you sow. You reap more than you sow. And you reap later than you sow. Let me say that again. You reap what you sow. You reap more than you sow. And you reap later than you sow. If you keep sowing these seeds, one day you're going to call some coaches. And you have heard people start saying that already. Who? I have nothing to do with Jamaica's football. Too many persons locally and internationally don't want to associate with our football. We need to fix this. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Be safe and show respect to people. We live in a society when just being civil is rarely being seen. You have a responsibility. He who knows better ought to do better. If you do good, good will follow you. And my name is Man. This has been another show, and I am Sure Sports. Stay safe, one and all.
You know what about dog? SK New heard this. The body out there. Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say, when you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocho-Rios, Galtigo Bay. Everywhere. I Am Sure Sports. Check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Ha! Yeah, someone on for the food from young from where they knee height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.